Okay, so obviously the bones are the foundations of our body.
Yes.
And you hear a lot about, especially for females, our hormones changing and that affecting our bones.
Yeah, so as females, estrogen plays a massive role in maintaining our bone density.
Yeah.
And as we go through menopause, our estrogen levels plummet massively. And there's all these different hormonal changes that have really big impacts on our bone health and our bone density. And it really just plummets as soon as we reach menopause.
Wow. Are there things we can do about that?
Yeah, so with prevention, you can make sure you're doing your 3 E's, doing your exercise, eating right, and making sure you're, improving your elasticity. But when it comes to menopause, it's just such a significant drop in hormones that, sometimes these aren't going to be enough. So there are a few things. One really important thing that isn't talked about enough, I think, is hormone replacement therapy.
Yeah, I feel like you don't hear much about that.
No one does. So HRT, as people call it, is basically quite literally what it sounds like, replacing the hormones that you're losing in menopause, so that you can maintain your bone density.
Yeah, I feel like it's crazy if that works so well, but we haven't heard about that. Yeah. Is there like a reason that people are hesitant? Are people hesitant?
Yeah, well, there was actually a massive controversy about 20 years ago now, where the use of HRT plummeted about 80%, because there was a study that came out published by the Women's Health Initiative, and they basically linked hormone replacement therapy to all these different cancers like breast cancer, and there was this massive scare, and everyone just dropped it. The doctors were advising against it. It was just a scary time.
Yeah, totally.
And actually following this, the Women's Health Initiative have sort of published different studies, and the study's been criticized over and over again, and it's shown how, the methodology was flawed, and there was just sort of all these different things where it wasn't an accurate study.
Right.
So we have shown that this really significant link to breast cancer and these other cancers isn't anywhere near as significant as we thought.
Oh, really?
Yes, and, whilst there are still really minimal risks, the view from the public just hasn't changed about HRT, and we're still not hearing about it, and we're still not using it as much as we should be, even though we've sort of taken a step back and said that we were wrong.
That is crazy. Like, it's so important that people do hear about that. Especially if it doesn't have the terrible effects that people talk about.
No.
In general, how does HRT work?
So basically it comes in all different forms, and it can be adjusted depending on, what your doctor thinks is right for you.
So it's more of a personal thing?
Definitely very personalised. You can have injections, you can have patches and creams, lots of different types, lots of different combinations of hormones, so it's really really personalized and suited for individual health, and your doctor will assess different risks based on your personal health, if you have any diseases, if you're on any other medications. So it's really important that
and the fact doctors, I feel like, aren't recommending that enough to people.
No, definitely not. Just recently, my mum actually was recommended it by her doctor, who also just started HRT, because my mum's doctor didn't even know that these studies had been debunked, really. And so she's kind of gone, wow, like, there's this crazy new therapy that isn't very new.
Are, getting into it too, but oh my gosh, the more you know.
The more you know. So it's just really important that, as females, we all head to our doctors and ask them what we can do, and just start the conversation about HRT and get it sort of back in daily conversation. On the radar, exactly.
Yeah, totally.
And this could be a really big deal for female bone health in the future, I think.
Wow.